Hey Susan, how's it going?
Pretty good, Dale. How are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good. It's another weekend into September of 2024.
Ugh,
Still trying
it's
to cool down here in Phoenix.
still 115. No.
Yeah, it's still 115. So this is another episode of You Say, We Say here at iFoundAgent, and we're today we're having a sales conversation
Hmm.
about what's it look like for iFoundAgent to talk to an agent who's skeptical or looking for a new marketing system, experienced agent, inexperienced agent, like any agent really.
Yep.
So I'm the guy I found agent and you're the agent.
I'm the cranky agent, which is not far of a stretch for me, so I can do that.
All right. So we'll pretend that this is a sales, or we'll pretend we're on the phone
Okay.
because but we're also going to incorporate some Zoom, or we're on Zoom and we're going to incorporate a demo if we need to. So we'll
Perfect.
see how it goes. So ring ring.
Good afternoon. This is Susan.
Hey Susan, it's Dale from iFoundAgent. How are you?
Pretty good, Dale. What's up with you?
Oh, I had a good weekend. How about yourself? Did you sell something?
No, it's the market's just hard and frustrated because I my marketing just seems stale and everything's so much drama lately. It's it's just a tough time right now.
It is tough. I've heard that with a lot of agents. Can I ask you a couple of questions about your marketing, what you just said?
Yeah, sure.
So how long have you been an agent?
Oh, goodness. Almost 30 years.
Okay. You've been in the business a lot longer, or not a lot longer, but longer than me for sure. I think I'm coming up on my 25th or 26th year. So we've been around a while, you and
Yep.
I.
Yep.
So what do you do to market to your people?
I struggle so much with consistency. It's
Yeah.
never been my strong suit. I'm consistently inconsistent. I have a database that I have that a CRM database that sends out some, newsletters, and I don't do a very good job of setting it up to, connect with my sphere regularly. Uh, I do a lot of social media marketing. Um, it's very piecemeal for me. I've just never found. I mean, and I have people on lots of ARMLS, armless IDX searches. And then I'll use that and be like, oh, did you see what I sent you? And I do that through MLS. Um, and they see them, and I can see that they see them, and it gives me a reason to reach out to them via email or phone. But that's about it.
Okay. So you send out newsletters, I would say what, on a monthly basis, but
Yeah,
you're
once a
not,
month.
but it sounded like you're not that great at keeping your database up to speed, or you do a pretty good job of that.
I do a good job of keeping track of them. I don't do a good job of setting up in my CRM to, like, I feel like things are canned that go out to them.
Yeah.
And I don't like that. I'd like to offer like that personal um touch to them. And that's where I get frustrated sometimes because anything I send them, or they're just gonna go and they're gonna look at whatever sites they go look at properties at. Sometimes they're going to look at mine. Sometimes they're going to look at, realtor.com or Zillow or wherever they're going to look.
Yeah.
I don't have a way to get them to engage to me personally, unless I do it through social media, phone calls, and those are hard. They're time consuming.
Would you can you think back to, like, have you really gotten much business from your CRM and the marketing you've sent out?
No, I think it's mostly just touch points, and
Okay.
and then it's on me more.
Okay. So one of the things I've talked to a lot of agents over the years about, them using a CRM, and CRMs are valid from a automating sending something out to keep your name in front of people. That like, and organizing your contacts and maybe doing some bulk emails and things like that.
Yeah.
One of the things that we do at iFoundAgent is because the CRM automation, I'll just say it's a proven tactic because
Okay.
teams use them, experienced agents use them, people who are really on top of their CRM are getting results from them. And there's tons of coaching programs. You've heard of Buffini and Tom Ferry.
Oh
Like
yeah.
all of
I
those
did Tom
folks
Ferry for a
are,
long time.
yeah, so they all talk about having some type of a CRM
Right.
and doing automated marketing. And if it didn't work, they wouldn't talk about it.
Correct.
So I would say that. Okay. So what we do with iFoundAgent is we have a way you can do that type of marketing with our system. So you can set up well, I call that content drip campaigns. So you send out content drip campaigns. So we have a way for you to do that. But what we do, and we take the case that iFoundAgent, is that your sphere of influence, the people you come in contact with, the referrals you get, the people you meet at open houses, I lump those into they're your real estate consumers, so to speak. Okay.
Right.
And what did they want from a real estate agent?
They want to see houses listings where they want to see them,
Yeah.
wherever that is.
They don't want your newsletter.
No, they don't. I know it's true.
They don't. They don't want recipes of the month. They don't want, hey, here's what there is to do in Phoenix this weekend or this month, because they can Google all that stuff.
I know, and
They,
it's what's frustrating. Everybody does that. I do it, and it's just everybody does that.
yeah. So what we've done with iFoundAgent is, I've talked to hundreds, thousands of agents really over my career, which incidentally, I got into the business in 1996. So I've been around a while. Okay. As we talked about, it sounds like you got in 30 years ago or whatever. I guess that's 28 years kind of, isn't it? 1996 to 2024. Oh man. Anyway, so your people want listings from you. That's what they want. At least that's my experience in talking to agents. So let's just take an example of what you're doing for marketing and a past client of yours, somebody you've sold a home to. So I want you to think of somebody real, like who's somebody that you've sold a home to?
Um,
You got
Oliver and Jessica.
somebody? What's their name?
Oliver and Jessica.
So Oliver and Jessica, do they work or they retire?
They both work.
So they both work. So let's just say this morning they left their house, they drove their cars or, and they took off whatever time they took off this morning, and across the street from their house was a new listing sign. Got it?
Yep.
So when they see that listing sign, what goes through their brain?
Probably the first thing is, I wonder how much it's listed for.
Yeah. Well, how would they find out?
Well, if they thought about it, once they got to work, they might log on to, one of the big national sites, or if they don't think about it until they're driving home later that day, at night, then they might do it that night when they got home, but they'll log on to the big Z or the R or whatever.
Yeah. Now, were these good customers of yours?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. They're great people.
They're great people. But notice what you didn't say, Susan, is you did not say they're going to call me and ask.
They're not.
They're not. They
Nope.
don't. Now, why aren't they calling you?
Because it's not what we do. Like, it's not them. It's what we do as people. We want information when we want it.
Yeah.
And we don't, they're busy. They're working. Yes, it's they want to know, but they've got 65 other things going on in their head, and they're certainly not going to pick up the phone and call. That's just not what people do. I don't do it.
Yeah, so it's the instant gratification society.
Yeah,
They want to know the price. They're not looking to sell their house. They just
right.
want to know because that points to what their house is worth.
Hmm.
They're a nosy neighbor. They want to see what it looks like inside. They want to know how many bedrooms, baths, do they
Yeah,
upgrade? Like,
they want to know
what's the
how it
condition
compares
of
to
it?
theirs, so they can
Yeah.
see, I've got, oh, my house must be appreciating, or that place is a dump. Whatever conclusion they're gonna come to.
Yeah. So the tragedy for that I say for real estate agents is they're not calling you
Right.
when they need you. And that's just in a price value. They don't want to have, and I hate to say it this way, but they don't want to have or get into or deal with the realtor conversation.
They don't have time, and it's perfectly understandable.
It's understandable. So they don't want to they just want what they want right then.
That's right. That's who
Okay.
we are. That's who we are. We're
So
just who
what
we all
our
are.
system, what's that?
It's who we all are.
It is, yeah. So what our system does is you stick your homeowner's sphere. Now notice I didn't say your past clients. I'm lumping together your homeowner sphere, like people you've done business with, but it's also your friends, your family, people you meet, referrals from church or the gym or whatever you're involved in that aren't buying homes now. They own a home, but every single homeowner out there, it like this is our opinion, but every single homeowner cares about that listing sign across the street.
True.
And you know a lot of people who own homes
Yes.
that you could be sending that information to them through your CRM instead of your newsletter. And that's what iFoundAgent does. And we use your website to do it.
So can I just? Oh, well, isn't that kind of like me setting up an armless search for them, like through the
Yeah.
MLS?
Yeah, this isn't like a brand new thing, but we're tying it to your website. So my question to you, Susan, is do you want your people in the MLS or do you want them on your website?
I want them just to connect what they're seeing to me. I mean, to me.
Yeah,
So, which would be my website. I mean,
your
if
website.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so I'd say 99 out of 100 agents I talk to want their people on their website. I'll ask another version of that. Do you want your people on your website or somebody else's website?
Well, yeah, that's an easy one. I mean, if I had a
Yeah,
decent website, I'd want them on my website.
right.
I want to be able to provide them. I want them to see me. And that's what never happened. That seems to happen. I want them to see me giving them the value of the information, not some other brokerage. I want them to see me
Yeah,
giving them.
that's exactly right. So that's what we do, and that's what we specialize in at iFoundAgent. So we've taken the CRM strategy of automating content to your sphere of influence, and we put listings in the content. And for homeowners, we say the most important thing you can send them is a polygon search around their house in their neighborhood that goes out to the major cross streets that sends a monthly, what we call a market update or neighborhood update. And it's got all active, sold, pending listings. And in some MLSs, we can send coming soons. Unfortunately, in Phoenix, we can't do that. But those go out once a month. And that's like a summary of here's what's going on, here's what's happened in your neighborhood or going on in your neighborhood right now. And that's monthly. Okay. And we can send that out both text and email. So now during the month, like Oliver, and I forgot her first name,
Jessica.
Jessica. So Oliver and Jessica, this morning, if you had been sending these updates to them, these monthly updates, they would have gotten a text or an email or both from you that said, hey, here's a house in your neighborhood that just went on the market, and it's from Susan Herbert. So they would have seen the address. They could have clicked that link. In the email we send the price, beds, bath, square footage, a picture, and the address, and a link that if they click the link, it drops them on your website to look at that specific property on your site with just a click. In the text, it's the address, they click, boom, they're on the
Right.
website looking at the same page. And then you get a notice. As soon as they hit the site, you get a notice that says, hey, Susan, Jessica and Oliver just looked at your website and they looked at this page. So now you have some intel, so to speak, to make
Right.
a phone call to them or to text them or to email them to check in, say hello. You could say something like, hey, Jessica and Oliver, I just noticed a new listing in your neighborhood that went on the market. Let me know if you have any questions. So now it's a soft touch. If they have a real estate need, they can walk right through the door to talk to you. They're not on some big website out there with some agent saying, hey, I'm an expert on this house. No, they got that information from you. They don't have to go anywhere else. And you get the intel for a reason to call. Because I know a ton of realtors out there struggle with making calls to their database, making
You
phone
don't know what
calls.
to say. I
You
mean,
don't know
that's,
what to say.
and then
You,
you feel like, oh yeah, it's the hardest thing to have something to say.
yeah. So we teach our customers just call and say something like, hey, I noticed something in your neighborhood that's went on the market. Let me know if you have any questions. And you could say the address if you wanted. Okay. Now, the that sets up, like you said, it's a reason to call to reach out, but it also can set up in their minds, wow, Susan's really paying attention to us.
I would take that a step further, even so I get the notification that they checked out the text or the email that I sent them, and I would look at the house myself, obviously, and something about it. Maybe it's got ugly green carpet. When I called them, I would say, hey guys, did you see that house? It's got a similar floor plan. Did you see that carpet? I would personally make it even more personal. Be
Yeah.
like, that would be a great comp for you if it didn't have ugly green carpet, because you've got that fabulous new flooring, something, because I
Well,
like that. I like to be able to be a little light with people. And I think that's just me. That's just me. But
I think that's a great idea. I would still keep that so like a great comp for you. Like they may not know what that means.
yeah,
And it's kind of throwing in that realtor conversation,
right.
so some agents might even, like you're just letting them know you're paying attention.
Yep,
And if they have a need, it's likely they're going to step through
right.
to talk to you. I don't think you have to, but I love the idea of, hey, I noticed that, they haven't upgraded than you did. Let me
Yeah,
know if you have any questions.
yeah,
And then they have a referral. They know somebody wants to live in their neighborhood. There's all kinds of things that can happen with that conversation or that type of a touch with them. But you're keeping it on the I don't know, the down low, so to speak.
right.
So
So
that's what we do.
so when they so let's say it's on their phone, because obviously everything has to be highly functional in the mobile world. So it's on their phone and they click that address to check that house out. So you're saying it goes to my site,
Yeah.
and then they see the property, and then how does it talk, how does it look like me? Like, did it just
Well, your name is at the top of your website.
right?
So they land on your website and it's Susan Herber Homes or whatever your website address is, and boom, they know they're on there.
Okay.
So I mean, that's the top thing, especially with real estate agent websites. Typically, your brand and your name is at the very top.
Right.
So it doesn't say MLS, it doesn't say some other website,
Right.
it says you. So they immediately know it's you. And all of the messaging that's going to them from the system has all of your branding and your name and your phone numbers and your marking, your markings on it. So they're clear who this is coming from.
So if they wanted to, let's say they're on their lunch break and that's when they're clicking on it, they could click on that, check out the house, and then they're inside my site already. So they could maybe go to themselves, oh yeah, there was another one that I was wondering what it's so like they could pull up they could get in, they're in my site now. So they could maybe they could search if they wanted to search another house in my site, like, oh, I forgot I was going to look to see if my brother's house is on the market, but they could do something in my site, or they could see me, they could see my testimonials, they could see, I don't know, they could do anything in there that I want to provide them, right? Because
That's correct.
if my site is worth them looking at for whatever reason, whether it's for that property, another property, or for data or market data, or whatever, that's me providing that to them. Not,
Right.
I mean, there's some wonderful sources of information out there, but it's not real estate news. It's not Cromford Report. It's not this, that, and the other thing. It's me giving them the information and the maybe the market statistics and maybe this, and not somebody else.
That's right. So, if you focus in on an area or your website's about a particular part of town, and that's where your customer base is, like generally you're selling on, the northwest quadrant of Phoenix or so. Yeah, you might take you might work with a buyer who's down in, the Queen Creek or whatever, but you're not going to have too many of those. You're generally going to focus in on an area and you'll work in that area. But you could focus your website into being a more local expert in where you want to sell homes per se.
Right.
And then people coming to your site, they'll get a sense of, oh, wow, Susan's really an expert or she's doing a lot of work in this part of town.
Right.
It really adds to your credibility and it adds to your, I would say it really works with building loyalty as well. Credibility and loyalty with people that you've done business with or people who are checking you out.
I mean, I hate to be so bold, but it almost makes it worth me having my website address on my business card or whatever. I mean, or my social media even, because it's just, I mean, I'm so tired of having to have a website. Again, it's just like, you have to have a website. Why? Nobody uses it. Everybody goes with everybody else. And it gets, I'm sick of it,
Yeah.
Like you have to have one, but it's just this dumb thing and then you don't want to do anything with it, right? I don't want to, I don't know any other agents that spend, and there's a few, but that do stuff, to make their website, I don't know, interesting or dynamic or show them off. Show off who I am. I mean, I can post how many properties I sell here and there, blah, 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 but I want them to connect with Susan as a person and as a successful agent, both.
And a good website, a professional website can do that. And you're pointing to a problem that agents have had for years. And I call it the albatross around their neck. If you remember that story from growing up and reading it in high school or junior high school, the financial albatross is having a website that doesn't work, but you need it. People say you need it, and some people say you don't. But for being legit and being able to show that you're in the business and that you're a professional, having a website that looks good, that people can find in Google, or they can go to it and search you. You can put it on your business card. The problem that agents have had over years, and I'm hearing that in what you're saying, is your website's never done anything for you.
Right.
And that's why we, as iFoundAgent, put together the stuff that you already know how to do in the MLS. I don't need to teach you the value of putting together searches.
No, that's easy.
And you're already doing that. What we're doing is we're taking that habit, so to speak, and sticking it into your website. And again, dare I say, this isn't something that we came up with. We're just doing it at the price we're charging. We're not a $400 a month charge or a $250 or $300 charge, because there are companies out there that are charging a lot more for what we're doing. I don't think that's necessary. That's why we've kept our prices down in that, $100 to $150 a month price range, depending on which MLS you're in, because some MLSs are more expensive for us to operate in, so we have to charge a little bit more. But for your market, we're in that low $100 a month range, where if you got a competing product that does what we do, that ties your website into your business, you're going to pay $250, $300 and up to do it. And, there's systems that you can get home values with, again, not your website. And they're not necessarily using real estate data, that like MLS data. Like,
Right.
we're driving people to your site to look at real estate that's relevant to them and their needs. That's what we've done is with our system. So does that sound, Susan, like something you would like to do?
Baby, I think, to be honest with you, I bought and paid for certain softwares in the past, whether it be CRMs and it's like, then I don't set it up. Then I don't, you have to do things with your contacts and there's some stuff that does it seamlessly, but then it's like, how do I get my sphere set up into my website to do those things?
Got it. So part of what we offer is a do it for you package. So you could get the bare bones package. You have to do it all yourself. There's some limits to what you can change on the website, like editing the design, things like that. But our most popular package, quite frankly, is what we call our platinum package, because you're busy, and you do have a database. So
Yeah.
we take your database, you send it to us as a CSV file. You know what that is?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Or an Excel spreadsheet, for if you don't know what that is. But you send that to us as part of setting up the website. And all CRMs have a way to export the database now. Like, you just get that to us. We take what you send us, we put it into your site, and then we set up the campaigns for you so that your site goes live a couple days, a week later. You and I work out the content of what we're going to be sending to your customers. And we start with your homeowner sphere, your past client sphere. Okay, that's who we start with first, because they know you, they trust you, they will embrace and love this information you're sending them. And I say that because we've been doing this now 6 years. So I have a lot of agents who are doing this, and they're getting business from it. So one of the things I like to do right now, or what I like to do in this conversation, is set you up on a campaign for your house. Okay? So can you see my screen?
Yes, I can.
All right. So I'm just going to set you up as a customer. We're going to pretend that you're my customer. Okay? And what's a good email address for you? Do you have a Gmail address, Susan?
I do. It's AZ Agent Susan at gmail.com.
Okay. So I'm putting in this plus Dale so that you know this is from the test that we did,
Okay.
but it'll still get to you. And then what's your, I'm actually, for the purposes of what we're doing, actually, what is your cell number?
602
Yep,
740
740
3169.
3169. Okay. And your home address, Susan?
2121 West Coolbrook. One word. Cool Brook. Ave.
City?
X. Uh-huh.
Zip? Or, yeah,
85023.
023. Okay. And I'm gonna, because I know you and we're talking and it's a demo, I'm gonna check you off as somebody I already know, or that, we have a previous relationship. Because this is necessary for texting. So I'm gonna send you this campaign in 2 different ways. But I know you're a realtor. So I can categorize you. You can tag and categorize people, Bob's pickleball referral if you wanted. Like you could do all kinds of different type things, okay? And then I'm going to mark you off so that I can use you, or I can use my system to send you something if I wanted to, okay? So for now, that's what I'm doing. I'll save you. So far, that's not a hard thing for you to do. Like you could enter this if you needed to learn how to do this, yeah?
Right.
Okay. So now I'm going to start a search campaign for you.
Okay.
So there you are. And this is going to you as a homeowner. So I'm sending you active, closed, pending, all of those statuses. And I don't take away any status because you as a consumer, you don't know the statuses or care. You just want to see homes or not see homes. You want to see what's in front of you. That's why we're sending it to you. So I'm going to go back 90 days. There's some reasons for that. And then contact with your address. There you are. I select the Google address. I drop the pin. Now, is that where you live?
Yep.
Okay. I always hop into satellite so I can see the rooftops. And then I just study this for a second. I look at, okay, Susan's going 2 different ways, maybe 3 different ways out of, maybe even 4 different ways out of her neighborhood. So I want to catch as much as I can ingress, egress. So I'm starting to draw the polygon and I kind of would go around. I might even try all the way up to Morningside, come down here, go out there and come back so that's the polygon I would send you. So now anywhere you drive or walk in this immediate area and you see signs, you're going to get that information from me. So
Okay.
I typically check the search results and at this, it's 14 properties. That's a good number because it doesn't look like I'm going to send you too many because I don't want to send you too many in spam and have you get upset with me. So then I just name this monthly neighborhood update or real estate update. And then I send this once a month. I send it now. I don't need a starter and end date. I'm going to send you instant updates for new and sold listings because you'll definitely notice the new signs going up. And then you may not notice the signs going down as quickly, but like my wife and I will walk our neighborhood and go, where'd that sign go? They must have sold it. And we don't, so it could be that way. So now I just come in here and I select homeowner campaign. It pre-populates the content that I'm going to send you. And then I'm going to send this as a cert or as a text also. And I hit save campaign. So while you watched me do that, did that seem hard?
No.
No.
But I can even pay you to do that?
Yeah, you can pay us to do that. And certainly when you set your site up, you're going to give us 150 names. We're going to do all this for you to get them going.
I just got the text on my phone, on my wrist.
So you got the text on your wrist. So
Yeah.
grab your phone or your computer and take a look at it.
Susan, here's a neighborhood real estate update from Dale Stauffer.
So now going back to the earlier question, like, how do I
Oh,
know?
okay.
Like, you know, it's from me and I'm the agent who sold you your house.
Right.
So it's a trusted source. And it's not, hey, here's your newsletter.
Oh, it's a great little map and everything.
Yeah. So now what I got on my side was a note that said, if you can see that, Susan Herbert just visited your website.
Oh,
So that I just got. So now I know to go look at my email, and now I have a reason to call you and talk about, hey, I just saw a new listing in your neighborhood, or here's your neighborhood market update, blah, blah, blah. Like there's things that are now possible in talking to you that weren't before, if that makes sense.
yeah. I mean, I love the fact that, oh, so look so at the bottom of this, so I'm scrolling through the properties, it says, call us, text us.
Yeah.
So
So if you text me from that page, it sends me a link that says you're texting me from that page. I can click it and then call you and say, hey, and talk to you about it.
that's handy. What's this little thing up here? Oh, the little, I don't know what you call it, little box with the lines. Then you can go and do other stuff in my site or in your
Yeah.
site at the moment.
And all that gets tracked in your account record on my site. Whatever you do in there, I get to see all that. So I can see what you're doing. And we're not storing personal data. Like there's nothing confidential.
Oh, I can go to, there's your Facebook link. I love that.
Yeah.
Your Twitter or X or whatever heck you want to call it. Oh, interesting. I like the text feature. I mean, just because I mean, a lot of people just prefer to focus on text than they do email. And I
Yeah.
like the fact that, I mean, you're in my site, you're seeing me, and you can, I like that.
Yeah.
You can go right to my social media from there. You can call me or text me from there.
Yeah.
Or you know what? I could hit text and say, Susan, is there any chance, or Dale, is there any chance you could show this to me this weekend? Like maybe I want to see it first or some reason.
Exactly.
I could literally text you and say, do you have time to show me this house this weekend?
Yeah, I could reach out back out and say, well, what are you up to? And you say, well, I have a cousin in Minnesota who's
Right.
wants to move here and they want to live in my neighborhood. And bam, you and I are doing business together.
So I also have a customer named Jake who I've known for years, and he's an attorney, and he's got some set aside, but he said, I want to wait another year to save up for a down payment because he wants to put at least 20% down.
Yeah.
He said, I'm going to go rent in Marley Park in Surprise for a year, which he's done with. He got married. So he and his wife are there right now, and they're going to buy as soon as their lease is up. So I could set him up so he can track stuff in Marley Park in the meantime, while.
And this is how easy that is. So let me go back to, I'm going to start a new campaign search for you. So you're already in my system. So I could come in and there you are. And then you said Marley Park. So I come in here and I put together a search, Marley Park subdivision, boom, right there it is. Okay. And then maybe that's all that I send you is you just want to see everything in Marley Park.
Right.
So, but I could do beds, baths, price, all
Right.
kinds of different, these are all from the MLS. So these are all things you would use in the MLS.
Right.
So for now, but I do want to send you just active listings in Marley Park. I don't want to send you closed, and so
No,
I'm going to separate that
right.
out. And then I just say homes in Marley Park. And he's waiting a year, so probably maybe send this to him once a month. But I'm going to send him new listings as they come on and they're available.
Okay,
So
yeah,
I'm not dogging
that's what I
him.
would do, sure.
Okay, good. And then here we have what we call a buyer search template. And here's the home search you wanted. And I would just add here in Marley Park from Dale Stauffer. And then down here, I could even say, here's the home search in Marley Park you wanted me to send you, blah, 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 blah. And then I'm going to text you this also. And boom, it's done. So you're now getting a search from me from your conversation you have with me that you want to go live in another neighborhood that's not in the neighborhood you live in now.
Huh. And there we are, homes in Marley Park, and it's from your website. I can see that.
Yeah. So again, for me as an agent, I now have a website that is part of my business. And I don't mind paying the bill every month because I'm driving my people to my website. And they're using my website to look at homes. And on the homeowner side, they're looking at homes in their neighborhood, which is very important to them. And for buyers, I'm using it to cultivate them, to show them what they're looking for until they're ready to buy, or as they're getting ready to buy.
Yeah, I mean, it's nice. I love the way it works on mobile too. And I love the fact that like Jake could just hit like text and just say, hey,
I want to see this house.
I want to see this house. I might be, I mean, you just never know, you never know when somebody's going to be ready.
Right.
And so this would set him up to where when a new one comes on the market, he would get a text.
Yeah. That was, if you look back at my screen, right here, I picked instant updates for new listings as they become available. So as soon as they hit the MLS, our system updates, we send it out.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. I like that.
So what do you think, Susan? Something you want to do?
Yeah, is there a contract? Like, is there like a,
We're all month to month.
oh, is
So
it month to month?
yeah, we get the real estate changes and stuff happens and people move to teams and come back from teams and change companies and get free stuff and don't get free stuff. So I don't lock people into contracts.
I like that because then I could try it out for, like, I mean, I from my experience, you need to do something for a year, not a couple months.
Yeah.
People do think that, I mean, I know agents, like they get sold, oh, this will work for you in 2 months. And I mean, this could, from what I've seen, but I would like to give it some time, but then if it just didn't, I love the fact that there's not a contract. That's a big deal for me because everybody seems to want to lock you in.
Well, so can I say something about what you just said about the 2 months? It could work for you, blah, 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 blah. So I started a customer on drip campaigns, not my customers, for an agent who came on board with us last December. So December of 2023. Gave me 160 names. We started his website and he came to us middle of November to say, hey, I want the website.
Last year?
He saw an agent who had our stuff and checked it out, knew the agent, called, and said, hey, I want to do this. So, all right, talk to me about what you're doing. And then we had this conversation that you and I had. And he's like, okay, sign me up. So I sent him a list of information that we needed. He got it back to me in a couple of days. We got on the horn. I got his credit card. He paid for the setup. A couple of days later, he had sent me his information that we needed. He picked the site that he liked. I submitted that into our production folks and they put the site together. And then a couple of days after his site went live, which was, I don't know, 10 days later or so.
Okay.
he sent me a CSV file with his contacts, and December 15th, I set up all of his campaigns.
Okay.
Fast forward into third week or so of January, he told me he was starting to talk to a couple of people about listing their homes from the campaigns that we were starting. And he shared with me, Dale, one of the listing contracts that I've just got, quite frankly, was somebody that sent me, or that I gave you. You didn't know, but I gave you somebody that I hadn't talked to in 11 years. 11.
11 years. Wow.
He didn't even know if the guy's email address was active or not, or if he still lived in the house. But we put him in, turned it on, and sent it. And the guy reached out to him almost immediately and said, geez, I didn't know if you were still in the business or not, and I didn't know how to get in touch with you. It's time for me to get a new place. And I'd like to talk to you about getting rid of my house and buying something new. So I caught up with him a couple months later, and he said that transaction, he helped him buy and sell his house and buy a new one. And that was all within a couple of months of starting things. And he had another deal in the process from the campaigns we were doing. And that was all back first quarter 2024. So and that's just one of many stories I have. I have another guy real quick, and this is my last story. He sold roughly 7 million in listings from past clients in about 14 months, 15 months of time on his back, because his back was so bad, he had a really tough time getting out of bed. And he's now since kind of gotten it fixed where he can function. But he's like, Dale, I can't help people buy homes because I can't show them. But I can certainly help people sell their homes from my house. And it took me a while to believe in what you were talking about, because this guy's an old software test engineer. And it took him a while for him to believe what our system was doing and that it would work. And finally, it was a couple of years into the pandemic, he came and said, hey, I want to do this. So we got his site ready. He got me his list. We put it in. Now he came to training and learned to do it himself. And, he's probably at 3 weeks worth of training, came back a month later, had a few more questions. And then I didn't hear from him for months, probably a year, maybe. It was a while. And then I got an email from him and said, hey, you didn't ask for his testimonial, but I've now sold, and he said the number 7 million in listings from these campaigns from past clients. And I've had some other business with referrals and things like that he got just by doing homeowner campaigns. And he started 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago, something like that. And I just got an email from him over this past summer that said he had another listing going from the campaigns. So and that's just like I said, I have tons of stories like this from customers, even down to just people reaching out to the agent saying, thanks for sending this to me. I love looking at what's going on. And that's it. Like, there's just a connection.
Right. Then that connection is what's so hard to get.
Yeah. So what I do at this time, typically, Susan, is I'll send you a list of stuff that I need from you. And, we work at your pace. If you're ready to go, we're ready to go. If you want to think about it for a week or two or another year while your database gets listings from, or, sees listing signs and they're going to other sources for pricing information, if you want to wait a year for that, we'll be here in a year. But if you're ready to go, get it back to us. I'll call you. I'll get a credit card and we'll get things rolling. And it typically takes 5 business days or so to get your site up and running, as long as I get what I need from you. And that's typically your headshot. Do you have a headshot?
Oh, yeah.
Do you have a bio?
Yes, I do.
Do you have your MLS ID?
Of course.
Okay. I know those are silly questions, but And then you're in the northwest part of the valley.
Yeah, Northwest.
So 6 featured communities, like 6 featured cities, or it could be subdivisions, or it could be lifestyle searches. So like if you're an adult 55 and up community person, you could just do, Westgate and Sun City and Pebble Creek and the, variety of 55 and up communities.
Right.
You could do pickleball and golf and whatever, or you could just do cities. You could do, or a combination of those. And then your featured listings, which would be, if you carry listings, great. It could be your office listings, or it could just be your Marley Park, for example. Like you only want to sell homes in Marley Park, so we just put Marley Park listings in there. So it just depends on, that's not hard to put together, is it?
No, that's pretty doable. Is
I
there
mean, do you
like
know
somewhere that I
six?
can go and look at the different price structures and stuff for the sites?
Yeah, we have that on our website it's on our main menu, pricing. And you're with a brokerage that we do business with, so there are some discounts available, and you and I can talk about that, as you get back to me with your information. Any other questions?
Sold.
Okay, then I'll send you the information I need to
I'm
send you and
cranky.
get back to me. What's that?
So that's not that cranky of an agent.
You're not that cranky, but what we deal with iFoundAgent, talking to agents like you, is we have to deal with the culture you've been involved with for a long time. Real estate agents don't do anything. And I think we've changed the table for many, many agents who work with us. Again, not our idea. It's the price point we charge that makes
Right.
it really valuable to you, and it's not costing you an arm and a leg every month. Oh, one more thing. At this package level, if you have us put up this, put together the campaigns for you for your database, then, next month when you sold 2 new homes, you just send those into support and we plug those people in for you also. So you really don't have to learn how to do that. If you don't want, we'll take care of it for you.
Oh, that's kind of a nice bonus.
Yeah, and we have a fair amount of agents that do that. They'll just say, "Hey, put this person in." Or what I love seeing is, "Oh, these guys are already in there, but you got to change their home address and restart the campaign because they sold that house and bought a new one." And I those are almost my favorite, because that means they've connected with somebody they've already worked with, and they're continuing, but with the new property. Those are fun for me to do too, or for us to do. So anyway, I'll send you that information and let's talk in the next day or so.
All right, sounds cool. I look forward to it.
All right, thanks, Susan. Bye-bye.